Hello everyone. In this video, we are going to do the analysis of the CAT 2020 slot 1. Now slot 1 happened from 8:30 am to 10:30 am on the 29th of November 2020. So we are going to do an analysis of the test in terms of the sectional percentiles, the sectional attempts that you should have made, and the overall test, what would have been a good number of attempts, what score could fetch what percentile, and so on. So let's start with the basic pattern changes. So the CAT had not revealed the pattern before the test actually happened. So for a lot of people who took the test in the first lot, there was a surprise in terms of the number of questions. Now those of you who would have taken SimCATs would have seen that we had exposed you to all kinds of tests, all kinds of splits that would have been possible. And the split that we had expected and which turned out to be true was that there were 76 questions this year. So this year the test shortened in terms of time from 3 hours to 2 hours, and the questions also were reduced from 100 that happened in CAT 2019 to 76. Those were a part of CAT 2020. Now the split across sections was also more or less similar. So we had 26 questions in both quantitative ability and verbal ability, and we had 24 questions in the data interpretation and logical reasoning section. So the number of sections remained the same at 3. The total duration of the test was reduced from 180 minutes to 120 minutes with 40 minutes per section. And the marking scheme remained the same as it was for the last 5 years. So for every correct answer, you were awarded with 3 marks. For every incorrect option that you chose, you had a penalty of 1 mark, and there were some questions that were theta or type in the answer based, in which case even if you mark the incorrect answer, you would not invite any negative marks. So that was basically the entire pattern change in terms of the test. At the beginning of the test, even before the test was started, there was a short table that was shared, and there was the split of the DILR section that was mentioned specifically. So it mentioned that we had 5 sets that would be present, right? And there would be 2 sets of 6 questions each and 3 sets of 4 questions each. The rest of the questions in those particular sections were made visible to us only once we started with the test. Now if you look at the overall overview of the first slot of CAT 2020, we can see that the entire split looked something like this. We had to start with the VARC section, which had 26 questions. The questions were split into 21 MCQs wherein we had options, and there were 5 questions that were theta, type in the answer based. The overall level of difficulty of the section can be classified as medium to difficult, and this was more or less on the same lines as was CAT 2019. Moving on to the data interpretation and the logical reasoning section, there were 24 questions as had been mentioned already, out of which 18 were multiple choice questions wherein there were options provided to you, and the remaining 6 questions were theta in nature wherein you had to type your answer in the text box. The overall level of difficulty of the section was pretty consistent with whatever has happened over the last 5 years now, and the section can be termed as medium to difficult. The third section was quantitative ability, and there were 26 questions in this particular section, out of which 18 were MCQs and 8 questions were theta. The overall level of difficulty of the section can be considered to be medium, which was more or less similar to what had happened in CAT 19. Overall, if you look at the test, there were a lot of things that happened this year that might have surprised even a well prepared aspirant, and accounting for that, we can say that the overall level of difficulty can be classified as medium to difficult, because there were more questions to be solved. If you just did an analysis of 180 minutes versus 120 minutes, 100 questions in 180 minutes versus 76 questions to be solved in 120 minutes, definitely you had to be on your toes. So accounting for all these factors, I am pretty sure that a lot of you would have found the test overall on the moderate to difficult side. Now let's have a look at the estimated scores and percentiles for the first lot. Now of course there are the standard disclaimers that apply. We will get to know the overall percentile and the accurate scores at which you would get set percentile when the CAT results are officially out. But this is essentially something that is based on the feedback that we have received from the mentors who took the test and from the students who have taken the test. We have tried to predict the percentiles or the scores that would correspond to the percentiles of 85, 90, 95, 97, 99 and 99.5. If you look at it, the overall score that we have here is out of 228 marks, because 76 questions multiplied by 3 would be 228, which was the maximum score that anyone could have got in this particular test. Now, if you look at the percentiles, the milestones, 85 percentile should correspond to 27 marks in VARC, 23 marks in LRDI and 31 marks in QA. If you compare it with the corresponding percentile or corresponding score to percentile aspect from last year's data, you will see that this is more or less consistent, because the level of difficulty of the sections was also more or less consistent with whatever had happened last year. Similarly, 90th percentile you can expect at an overall score of 81 marks. 95th percentile, which would give you access to most of the baby IIMs and some of the newer IIMs as well, will possibly be around 94 marks. And if you look at the higher tiers, 97th percentile will roughly be at 100, 99th percentile will roughly be at 110, and the top tier 99.5th percentile will tentatively be at 120 marks. Even if you look at it at a sectional level, you will see that VARC and QA are more or less on similar lines if you look at it, and DILR is the one that was considered to be slightly more difficult compared to the other two sections. Now, the overall verdict when it comes to CAT 2020 slot 1 is that the overall level of difficulty remained at moderate to difficult. It was not very easy. At the same point in time, someone who would have prepared would have found quite a few questions that could have been solved in those 40 minutes. A good overall attempt. So, if you looked at the previous slide, you would have seen that we are talking about 100, 110 and 120 as the top 3 tiers. Now, to be at that 110, you have to attempt somewhere around 37 to 38 questions absolutely correct. If we account for a bit of errors, then we are looking at 40 to 40 questions with an high accuracy that would lead to an overall percentile of around 98 to 99, which would open the doors for most of the institutes. So, that is basically the prediction in terms of the overall attempt that we have. There were a lot of similarities between the SimCATs and the actual CAT. The nature of inferential questions that were present in the SimCATs throughout, there was a stark resemblance to the nature and the level of difficulty of the questions that appeared at your SimCATs, specifically in the verbal ability section. The data interpretation and logical reasoning section was not extremely tedious. There weren't a lot of calculations that were involved. There weren't a lot of cases that you had to make. But then again, it required you to select your questions really well and think about your selections before you started actually solving the question. When it came to the quant section was almost exactly similar to what you could expect at a SimCAT. The questions were based on concepts that you had already seen, and for those of you who would have enrolled with us for our classroom program, the questions were extremely similar to your classroom modules that you would have got and the practice exercises that you would have solved. So, that way the resemblance was uncanny. Anyone who would have taken a few SimCATs would have been able to carry forward the same level of performance to the actual CAT as well. Now, let us look at the first section of verbal ability and reading comprehension. So, as was expected or as the students had already been mentally prepared for, this section was slightly on the difficult side. It was more or less similar to what had happened in CAT 2019, wherein the passages were slightly dense, they were difficult to read, they were not really present on commonplace phenomenon except maybe one passage. The overall level of difficulty of the RC part can be termed as medium to difficult. The passages were easy to read, but the questions were difficult. The questions were longer than usual. A lot of questions you had to sit and verify whether the answer or the option was talking in favor of the topic or against the topic. There was some subtle wordplay that was present in some of the questions. So, if you would not have read the questions carefully, you might have invited some negative marks in this particular section. Now, in terms of the reading comprehension passages that were present, if we want to sort of look at each passage one at a time. One of the RCs was on importance of grammar. So ironically, although grammar was not a part of the section, we had a passage that spoke about the importance of grammar. The passage was fairly easy to read. It was a funny, quirky passage, you can say. The questions were also very easy to read, and for someone who had to spot sitters in this particular section, this question or this passage should have been the one that would rank very high in your order. We also had a set or a passage on elephant seal migration. It had a basic premise which was explored, and there were some variations that were discussed. The passage was difficult to read, especially for people who were not very familiar with the topic. The questions were also particularly tricky, and they spoke about hypothetical scenarios. What could have been the inference? Which of the following might explain an alternative phenomenon? So we had questions to that effect, and so we can sort of classify this passage as being medium to difficult. The third passage on principles and subsets of anarchist thought again was an interesting read, but then the questions required you to dig deeper into the passage. And so again, for people who were not very clear about anarchy and the various forms of governance, it would have been slightly difficult for you to read as well as answer these questions. So again, something we can classify as moderate to difficult. And the last passage was regarding currency in Tang Empire. This, I believe, was the easiest passage of the lot. I am sure that you would have been able to relate to whatever was being said in the passage, and it had fewer questions compared to the other passages. So there were 4 questions in this passage, and this passage can be classified as being easy to moderate in nature. So if you had to prioritize, you had to prioritize the first passage and the fourth passage. Whoever would have prioritized well in terms of picking and choosing RCs without getting stuck would have done exceedingly well in this particular section. All the questions that were from the reading comprehension part of VARC were MCQs in nature. There were no TITA, so you are not expected to type the answers, and you have to just select the correct option. A good overall attempt, if you look at it in terms of this section, would be around 15 to 17 questions with high accuracy. Coming to the verbal ability section, there was nothing that was out of place. So all those of you who would have prepared throughout the year would have expected the question types to appear, and the same question types appear, and more or less in the same split. So there were 8 questions in total from verbal ability, 3 parajumbles wherein you had been given 4 sentences that had to be rearranged to form a coherent paragraph. The overall level of difficulty of the parajumble specifically can be termed to be medium to difficult, and because these were TITA questions as was expected, the level of difficulty was definitely a bit higher compared to what it could have been like. When it came to the out of context sentence, wherein you had been given 5 statements and you had to figure out which one was the odd sentence out of the 5 that were given to you, the level of difficulty of the questions can be termed to be easy to medium. So there was one question that was fairly straightforward and one question that was of moderate level of difficulty. There were 2 questions and both of them were TITA in nature. The third type that we had was paragraph summary, from which again 3 questions appeared. Overall, if you look at it, the level of difficulty of the para summary questions remained consistent and they were easy to medium in terms of level of difficulty. The questions were of MCQ type, wherein you had been given options, and so you had to select the best option out of the given 4 options. Overall, if you look at this section, if you had attempted somewhere between 15 to 17 questions and you are expecting a very high accuracy to the tune of at least 85%, then you would have called this attempt a success. Overall, the reading comprehension and the verbal ability section was moderate to difficult, as we said, and someone who would have selected the questions that needed attention and would have sort of overlooked questions that did not deserve attention would have done really well at this section. Just because you have attempted an RC or just because you have read a passage does not mean that you had to attempt the questions as well, and those of you who would have fallen for this trap would have seen that you were not able to complete this section, which would have been disastrous. Coming to the next section on data interpretation and logical reasoning, overall if you look at it, this section was more or less similar to what had happened in CAT 2019 and the years before as well. If you look at it, the section rewarded those people who were able to select those 3 sets that had to be done. Those of you who would have got stuck in the section would have ended up attempting fewer questions than what you would have liked. So if you look at the sets that we had 3 DI sets and 2 LR sets. Although we can use the terms interchangeably, data interpretation sets were dominating in terms of the overall split that we can see here. One of the data interpretation sets was based on 6 students appearing in exams for 5 subjects, right. There was a very small bottleneck that was present in this particular set that you had to spot. If you are able to spot that bottleneck, you would have been able to crack this set very easily. For a prepared aspirant, cracking this set should not have taken more than 8 to 10 minutes. So it was mostly a game of being persistent and then answering the questions. If you look at another of the DI sets, there was one set with 1000 patients getting treated with 4 different drugs. This was sort of a surprise because there is one concept that CAT has not tested over the last many years now, which is 4-factor Venn diagrams. And that was basically what you had to use to solve this one. So it was a very interesting set. People who would have known how to crack 4-factor Venn diagrams would have solved this set very quickly. So for a trained aspirant to solve this set, it should not have taken more than 6 to 7 minutes. Similarly, if you look at the third DI set on 10 musicians, again just deviating a bit from what CAT LRDI sections are used to be like, we had another set that used the concept of Venn diagrams, which was the set on 10 musicians. It was not a difficult set, again something that should have been attempted. So if you were someone who had even fiddled with Venn diagrams for a bit, I am sure you would have been able to attempt this set nicely. The set can be termed to be medium to difficult because there was intersection that was involved and there were things that you had to keep in mind when you are solving the particular set. But again, this set was on the doable side. There were 2 LR sets, one of which was 4 companies competing for contracts. So again, if you looked at this set was slightly difficult to read and understand and digest, right. Those of you who would have represented this set would have realized that you have taken a lot of time thinking about this set than actually writing down something on your paper. Again, can be classified as a difficult set, one of the sets that you had to do at the end of the section, not at the beginning. There were 6 MCQ questions that were a part of this set. So it was rewarding, but you had to put in a lot of effort. And the final LR set was based on payment to taxi drivers. We can term this set as being medium to difficult. Again, it had 4 questions, all of them were MCQs. But then again, you had to be very comfortable reading the set properly and being able to deal with cases. So if you are good at these things, this could have been the set that could have been attempted after your DI part was done. So overall, if you look at it, in total, if you look at the section as a whole, if you have attempted 10 to 12 questions with near perfect accuracy, then I think you should do really well at a sectional level when it comes to the DI-LR section. Moving on to the last section of quantitative aptitude. Again, this section was extremely similar to what had happened in CAT 2019 and CAT 2017 as well. The overall level of difficulty can be classified as medium. There was again a lot of emphasis on arithmetic and algebra. So as was being advocated throughout the season, right, 18 out of 26 questions were present from arithmetic and algebra. And that was a big percentage that was there, right, a good 70% you can say was contributed by arithmetic and algebra. There were also some questions from numbers, modern maths and geometry, but again there were not as many questions as were from arithmetic and algebra. So this was a section that rewarded those students or those candidates who had learnt their theory well. If you had learnt your theory well, if you knew what exactly to apply where, if a slight twist in the question would not deter you from exploring a bit, then I am sure you would have enjoyed solving this particular section. Because there was no place wherein you could have got stuck, except a couple of questions maybe wherein you could have got stuck. The overall section, if you look at it, was fairly on the easier side and you would have probably run out of 40 minutes or run out of time before you could wrap up the section, right. So again, understanding which sections or which questions to attempt in this particular section, which questions to let go in the first round, those things would have been extremely important. At a sectional level, if you look at it, 14 to 16 questions with high accuracy would be a decent performance in this particular section. Although I would be very happy if you are going till 18-20 questions in this section, because if you were to pick a section that was the easiest out of the three, definitely quantitative aptitude had to be that section. So those of you who would have dreamt of scoring high marks would have had to score better in the quant section. So that was the overall and the sectional analysis that we had.